Good morning and welcome to Live with Joan. And you know, I always say that my coffee cups are my oracle card for the day. And for today it is, don't tell me what to do. You are not my cat. So, and phone calls from Deidre. Anyway, I want to welcome everybody. And I'm flying solo today, kind of. I don't have Claudia. She had a family tragedy, and her mother-in-law died, and so she's with her family, and they're doing a funeral today, and we will miss her, but we'll have her back. And then I have a special guest who's sitting here, but I'm going to talk for a while. And I'm going to get my coffee, which is my Tuesday ritual of having coffee with you. So, okay. If you are new to me, my name is Joan Ranquet. I'm an animal communicator, author, TEDx speaker, coffee drinker, and founder of Communication with All Life University. And the program is, we have programs for people that want to learn animal communication, that want to become an animal communicator, that want to learn about energy healing for animals or become an energy healer. And we have programs for nature and wildlife. We have a lot of classes going on right now. It almost makes me dizzy. But we are in countdown, literally days away from the fall intensive. So it looks like a bomb went off in here, because I always tend to do some project right before the intensive. I mark my life by the spring and fall intensive. I get all sorts of things done around here that I would go, I could do that later. One project outside didn't make it for fall intensive, but it'll be ready for the spring intensive, which is fine, because spring intensive will be more hands-on with horses and with the EFT. So that's okay. But anyway, we've been doing lots of projects around here getting ready. And if you saw right now, I have 3 dogs and a cat in a box because anyway, Henry's in a box. So it's weird not having Claudia here. And I'm just going to say it, we'll miss Claudia today. And we have other classes coming up. We have the Animal Communication Level 1, and we have Energy Healing for Animals. So Animal Communication Level 1 is October 26th, and that's a 12-week class with live calls, and you get all your communication verified. It's very fun. And then we have Energy Healing for Animals starting in November, I think the 10th or 11th, whatever that Thursday is. And that is 10 live calls of EFT and scalar wave, and a lot of working with your partner. And I very specifically match you up with somebody that is a good match. Usually someone new to that class would connect with somebody that's advanced, so that they've already done the tapping. So that's it. And I'm trying to think. My new book, I'm going to take a sip of coffee. It's weird. Not even Shannon is here. Anyway, dang, that's a good cup of coffee. We have, oh my God, I just lost my thought. We have a lot of stuff coming up. What else was I going to talk about? I have a cat in a box. That's always distracting, because you want to get in the box with them. I had a dream that I had a mountain lion in bed with me last night. That was a crazy great dream. And Dana, I think, is going to be joining us in the intensive, and Jane is here. And Jane is a teacher now, which is very exciting. We have lots of people moving up to teaching, and we have a lot of people for the intensive online. It's almost more people online than in the classroom, but it's okay as long as we're still doing the work. That's the good news. I was going to say, my new book is coming out, EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique for Animals, in June. And then we've got, I don't have a date for it, but I'm working on an animal chakra book. So there's lots of fun stuff and lots of different ways that we're staying on our mission to help 22 million animals. So I'm surprised nobody's saying hi. Maybe I can't. No, don't want to do that. My thumbs are really fat. My fingers are fat, so no. Well, anyway, like I said, we don't have Claudia today, so I'm having trouble. We'll have trouble reading class. So Heidi is here, and Heidi, I thought you were coming in person. I was so excited to have you here again, but apparently you're doing it online. You still have days that you could fly down here, and we wanted you in person. Anyway, so that is it. And I was going through pictures, Heidi, and I found a very cute picture of you sitting in this chair. So there you go. Usually, Alright, usually there's a scroll of comments that I can't read, and Claudia tells me what everybody's saying because the comments are small. Anyway, well, I will introduce my guests then. So I have someone who came in to do the intensive, and we have a cat right up there. So we'll see if we can get Rose in, but we can't get. Oh, there's Buster Keaton. There we go. Oh, he wagged his little tail. Thank you. He just wagged it again. Oh my God, he is too much. Yeah, you are. He does tail communication. It's the latest. I'll talk about it in my first chakra book. Anyway, so this is Rose, and she's here for the intensive.
Right.
And she's been, how long have you been in the program?
Almost a year.
And are you having fun?
I'm having a great time. It's awesome. I love it.
And so Rose has a background in the military and then with dogs, and she did the behavioral college here locally, even though it's, there are people coming on. There we go. There's people saying hi. Anyway, Rose did behavioral college here for, what's the school called?
Animal Behavior College, dog training certification.
And then you worked with service animals.
I've trained service animals and then regular pets.
And do you think that you're going to go back to that at all?
I will in the future, in the near future. I will.
But right now you're learning animal communication and energy healing, and how's that going?
It's going great. I love it. And I feel it's going to help me when I get back into dog training as well. It'll make dog training easier.
What do you see yourself doing with all of this?
Working with animals and helping. I feel farmland and shelter animals as well as pet animals.
Cool. And oh wait, there's Charlie. Rose is your upcoming roommate. Can't wait to get there.
Absolutely
Yeah.
awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
The house is great. I love it. I love it in there.
Where is it? I forgot to ask.
It's Valencia.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Yeah, so what are you hoping to get out of the intensive this week?
Just becoming better at animal communication, and then death and dying. I'm not sure what that involves, but learning about that as well. And then Sarah just passed away, so I've been learning how to grieve myself, and then communicating with passed on animals. And I feel like we're going to go more into detail with that one.
Mm-hmm. And do you did animal communication come easy to you at first?
Extremely, and I feel like I had already been doing it, and this clarified that it was accurate and true.
And how was the verification process for you, like in animal communication level 1?
When I was doing like
The Wednesday class.
yeah, it came very easy, and the information was accurate.
And was it good to have it verified?
Yes, extremely.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's part of the whole thing, is like creating a whole step by step,
Right.
you know, so that you ease into it. Because it's, you know, for some of us it does come easy, and for others it doesn't. But in the end, everybody gets there.
All right.
Yeah.
It seemed fun too. It was very fun.
Yeah.
And, hearing the different personalities was awesome.
Jane says, thank you for pushing me out of the comfort zone. And Kinsey says, I aspire to be a teacher. See, having the camera on Rose means I can get up here close and read these. Well, and you got to come and help with Virginia Beach. How was that? We did the EFT class at Edgar Casey's Association for Research and Enlightenment.
I loved it. I loved helping other people do the EFT tapping, and it felt so easy and fun.
Yeah. You had a tough customer. I mean, you had a couple people that weren't kind of getting it, but then they got it.
Right. They had no idea, and for the script, I had to do the whole thing. They couldn't understand how to do the script.
Yeah, it's hard to teach in a day.
Right.
But people got it. Do most do communication before healing? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And not only animal communication, but also medical intuition scans, which is just sort of integrated in, and then really get when you broaden out your animal communication, you can really get a sense of the household too. And that's something that people will be focusing on. I've got all the first 3 days mapped out, so we have a lot of fun coming up. But yeah, the energy healing is definitely, I don't know how people do energy healing without animal communication. It seems a little crazy to me. Right, Buster Keaton? Let's see if we can get a little tail wag. No tail. He's deep in it. He only wags his tail if we're talking about him. He's not going to answer questions. Anyway. Is the process on doing EFT with animals the same process as with humans? Well, it is and it isn't. It's very similar. The thing that happens, there's a couple things that happen with people. We stay really connected to story. And so sometimes we really have to work on letting go of the story. The other thing is we have way more complex and complicated emotions. Like, a dog won't have regret. It might in the moment, but because they're so in the moment. I like to use this example. If a cat did an acrobatic act and leapt from one thing to the other and missed the mark, that cat might look over and be embarrassed for a moment. But because they're in the moment, they will let go of that embarrassment within by the time they've walked out of the room. They might not make that leap again, but they're not going to go and revisit embarrassment. Whereas I can turn red thinking about drunk dialing in college. So that is, we maintain these stories and that are attached to emotion in a different way than the animals do. That's number one. I think because they are so in the moment, and our moments linger. But also, when it comes to something traumatic or something that they're not letting go of, or what seems to be part of their character, if you will, when you know that there's somebody in there whose essence is a diva, but they're very timid, something's happened, and it's probably sitting in their limbic system. It's probably stuck, and so, then it's similar in that we're just simply releasing an emotion that's pretty stuck in the brain. The tapping points are very similar. Thankfully I had a background in acupressure from the 90s, and so I was able to, and other people have done the same thing, put together simple tapping points that are very, it's bladder 1, triple heater 23. It's all kind of the same points, and so they have the same healing or calming mechanism that the others have. And there's Bernadette arrived. Bernadette, you met Rose at the at Virginia Beach. Oh, Shannon's here. Look at this. We have a whole party. Yeah. What healing modality do I use the most? Well, the truth is, I do the scalar wave on myself every morning, and right before I meditate, and so it puts me into a very amazing state, and my entire household. I'm going to do this for a moment because I feel like I'm leaning in, and then I'll bring Rose back on. I feel like the whole household benefits from the scalar. Like, my house is pretty calm, isn't it?
Very.
Go ahead and say that to the camera.
The animals are very calm, and it's very relaxing here with the crystals too.
Yeah. And she literally just got here. She's never been here before. So for me, doing the scalar sets the tone for the whole household and sets the tone for who I am. And then I'm walking in to any healing situation very calm. On Thursdays, I've been working on a stallion who has, of all things, biting issues. He's been kind of going after people. And I can come in very calm, and I'm very mindful. I'm going to knock on wood. It's not like, I'm just very, very calm, and I don't put myself in danger. I mean, it's the same thing with you with dogs, right? Don't put myself in danger. If I think something is is amiss, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna put myself in danger. That's it. And I've been able to tap on him very easily, and he's really loved it. He has really loved it. So that's been my Thursday adventure. And I tapped on another horse a couple weeks ago. So I go between the two. Tapped on a dog. So I definitely do the scalar every day. I don't always turn to EFT when things are going on. But, I mean, I do if a big thing comes on. And then with my animals, I definitely have EFT is a pretty quick go-to. My animals here at the house, though, enjoy the scalar. But I like to put it this way. If there was a behavioral issue, then I think EFT is the go-to, and if there's more of a healing issue like diabetes or cancer, things like that, then I would say scalar. And I would love to hear what a student has to say. Rose, what do you think?
With Sarah, at the vet, EFT was the best because she hated going to vets. And so I feel like in the moment, the best would be EFT. And then other times when everything is calm and relaxed, scalar wave. Or if she's in the ER and I can't touch her, then scalar wave.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I hope that helps. Wow, lots of... Susie and I are together eating vegan pizza. Hooray! Oh my God, Shannon, the vegan pizza I made the other day to die for. And I can tell you, I will be sharing that. It'll be a school recipe. We are not eating vegan pizza. We are just sitting here because it's much earlier. I would love to hear Susie and Shannon sitting there eating vegan pizza, what your answer would be about what healing modalities. I want to go back to that question. Is the process of doing EFT the same? There's another key factor that's different, and that is, if you are an animal communicator, then yeah, you're asking the animal. You find out, okay, they were, bitten by a rattlesnake and now they're afraid to go in the shed, right? So you would work on the fear. But if you're not an animal communicator, and I have a lot of people that take the class, so I've created the training for people that aren't necessarily animal communicators. I've created the training in a way that you kind of drop in and get a sense. You might get a sense from their guardian what's going on, and know, the feelings involved. And so going back to that in the moment, we stay very much in the feeling for the animals as we should with the people, but more story gets involved. I hope that makes sense, right?
It does.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy to answer any questions, or maybe you have questions for Rose. Okay. Oh my goodness. When you practice scalar wave for animals, do you visualize the scalar wave on their body, or are you doing it on yourself, and does the field radiate to the animals? That's a great question. So, here at my house, my field radiates to the animals. But the thing is, I definitely visualize it for the animal if I'm working specifically on another animal. Like when I go, I like to say that I do the scalar wave every day because I'm in that state then. I'm in that very calm state between exercising, meditating, and scalar wave every morning. I'm pretty even. And so I can then walk into a situation like that stallion, and I have all the work that I've done on so many animals, and not success, but just, and not confidence, but it's just, this is just what is in my field of energy. So my field exudes a certain, like I'm a safe facilitator for healing. So already that changes the cells, if you will. And then I go in and do the energy. So my field does radiate, but it doesn't necessarily radiate scalar at that moment. It radiates that this will be good. This is okay. My stomach is sounding like an elephant, which we do have a Kenya trip coming up, so it's appropriate. So I hope that helps. That's all the French fries I ate last night. If I'm in like Virginia Beach, I eat French fries, but I don't like think I need to find French fries. We went somewhere healthy and I saw French fries. And I went and got them. So anyway, my stomach is saying, wow, that was crazy. We had a French fry party. So yeah, I feel like my field exudes something else. One thing I used to do, and I don't do it anymore because I have that one big one in the morning. I used to sit with an animal and do a quickie on myself, and sometimes I do. And then so that I was grounded in that energy, but I feel like my life is grounded in that energy. But that is something you could do. When Scalar was off because of the cancer, when Shadow was off because of the cancer, Scalar was magical. It helped me too. Yeah, that's amazing. Have I ever used the Hawaiian, I can never say that, forgiveness prayers with the animals? I'm using it with the rescue parrot who was neglected, and I see improvement. I've certainly used it myself over the years, and in many ways I feel like, that's a really great idea. I feel like animal communication in some level also, though, releases the story. I always say that animal communication is the first line of defense, and I feel like once the story's in the air, that there's often a lot of forgiveness, but I definitely bring forgiveness into the tapping scripts. That's kind of one of the transitions out. So I think that's awesome. Okay. I have a really fat finger, so I'm hoping I'll see this whole thing. I did Scalar on myself every day during the storm, and she was in Ian. I did Scalar on my generator. It kept working. I love, 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 and my fingers are too fat. Oh. Assuming I love, love, love Scalar. Yeah. I love, love, love the Scalar, and I also needed to do EFT on my frightened horses. So for me, it's the Triple Crown, it's the Holy Trinity, it's the whole shebang. Animal communication, Scalar, EFT. It's the Holy Trinity of working with animals. I have to bring my Catholic references in. So there we go. I wonder. I love these questions. The forgiveness and tapping for the horses is vital. They are so reactive to it. It's true. And it is definitely, I think it's I love that you're using that prayer with and for them. And once you start, if you were to learn the tapping, forgiveness is key. Delilah's having dreams. Now she stopped. Anyway, that's about, without Claudia here, I'm like, yeah. Does anyone have any questions for Rose? I can read questions. I have a question for Rose.
What is that?
Do you use the Scalar much on yourself?
During certain times I will, and other times I don't.
And are you using EFT on yourself?
A lot, especially when I need to release and forgive myself and others. I've used it a lot with shadow work. It's come in very handy, and at the end result, I keep realizing I need to forgive myself and allow myself to understand I was doing the best I could at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So releasing a lot of emotions and feelings I didn't know I had stuck in me, and then they'll get released.
And do you find the EFT flows when you're doing it for yourself?
Yes, goes extremely well, and big yawns, sometimes tears. So,
Yeah. Um, Rose, what were your first steps? Did you start digital classes to get started? How did you get started? Oh, tell about how you were gonna actually meet me at the Edgar Casey. The conference that I just did was scheduled 2 years ago, March 2020. Yeah, March 2020, and you were signed up for that.
yes, I was signed up, and that week they canceled it, and then I think in August somehow your Facebook came across mine, and then I started. Then I saw the school in 2021, August 2021, and then I signed up for the school. And then when you said you went to ARE, I realized that was you. So that was like 6 months later. I realized that was you, not immediately.
That's so funny. So for you, you just wanted to jump in.
Yes.
And what do you think? Because some people start, hello, with digital classes, and some people start with other things. I just realized that my Rife machine is quite prominently right there above your head. We might do some crazy healing during the energy healing.
Well, I only got an amethyst right there, so that's
Yeah.
my third eye's already pinging. So.
Yeah, the amethyst. I've got a lot of crystals.
Oh yeah.
So, what drew you to just jumping in versus starting slow?
I did start slow, and it came so easy. I did start with, I think, 3 digital courses.
Oh, you did?
I did, and then I kept looking at AMP, and it was Animal Mastery Program, and I was like, and then my intuition was kind of like, jump in, go. So I think because I was starting right around the intensive, and I didn't want to do the intensive. And so then I did some digital courses and knocked those out within a week, and I fell in love with it. And then I signed up for Animal Communication Level 1, and then I started talking to Shannon, and it was, let me just jump into the whole program.
So you went digital, animal communication level 1, jump.
Right.
Okay, cool. Right. Let's see if anyone else has questions for Rose. I forget. Oh, Susie says, I forget to do all the self-care with the energy healing. Dang. Susie, I don't know if you know, but this is my cup today. Don't tell me what to do. You're not my cat. And I imagine if you were having this, there'd be an F-bomb in there. Anyway. So that was a great question, Kinsey. I love that you asked that. Hi, Joan. Hi, Rose. I just joined. Hi, Claudia and Shannon, if you're here, too. So, Shannon's here, but Claudia's mother-in-law just passed. So, we are here without Claudia, and we're very sad, but she'll be back. Shannon says hi. Yeah, we definitely miss Claudia, because it's really hard. I'm like this, reading. That's why it's easier if the camera's on Rose, because then I can be right up there just taking a look. Okay, any other questions for Rose? Because this is fun having a student. She's not a teacher, she's a student. Are all of your trainings in Cali? Okay, I'll answer that. Where do you live? That's the real question. So the intensive twice a year is here. Spring and fall, in person. I used to do a mini version of it, and probably will again one day, but for a few years I did a mini version of it in Boston. And eventually we'll have enough teachers doing simultaneous intensives we'll all be connected up, but like there'll be satellite locations. Um, Shannon says Rose would be a great teacher. We already know this. We already know this. She's gonna sign up. Okay. Um, what I'm so with my new book coming out, it would be great to know where you are. Yeah, definitely back to Sacred Acres, which is Shannon's place when it's dry. And I want to hear Susie's version of how she got there, because she sent me pictures of how to get to your place, and it was completely a lake. Anyway, so as the new book comes out, I would like to do a dog book tour, and oh, in Texas, yeah. I used to teach, I've taught a few times in Houston, and I plan to again. I love where I was teaching. I forgot the name of the store now, but anyway, I loved it there. As a matter of fact, one of my crystals, I like to get a crystal when I go teach in stores like that. And my jasper came from Texas. So where in Texas are you? Because that is an easy thing to do. But I will definitely be doing EFT training, and then with the next book, and then we're putting together a curriculum for different things. Dallas, Fort Worth, okay. So then we've got, yeah, and then I'll be doing other books coming out. So I'll be traveling. Rose, what were your biggest challenges? Did you get stuck at any point with your communications? That is such a fear. That's a great one for us too.
I didn't really get stuck. Just some animals don't want to open up as much and be as vocal. And then with my communication, I've also gone to like wild animals. So I'll communicate with bees, hornets, wasps, anything and everything. And some animals are extremely quiet. Some are just love communicating. And then sometimes there are pets where they're extremely shy and silent in the beginning, and then they start to come through at the end.
What do you think? But if somebody felt like they were getting stuck, do you ever feel like, oh, I could go deeper with my meditation, or I need to trust myself more? I mean, those are...
The Silva method absolutely made it so crystal clear. So, and then doing the classes in person, like that energy too intensified the communication.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for somebody who gets stuck, what would you say to them?
Just give yourself a break. Allow it to come through. When you try and force it, that's when it can't come through.
Yeah, and sometimes people get almost like test energy, right? Like this is a test, and it's not a pop quiz in geometry. Trust me, I would not do that to you, because I hated it. So I love what you just said. Like, don't force it, and it's almost like I always say, take a breath and just go deeper. Like, just go deeper into your meditation. Like, almost like, all right, you're not going to tell me anything. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, right?
Right. I'll take 10 steps down, or during if I get stuck, I'll just imagine 10 steps down further, and then just get deeper and deeper.
Yeah. I'm showing my ugly, no, look at, I've got that filing cabinet has got to go. So I showed my filing cabinet. Anyway. Rose, how did you trust what you were hearing and seeing?
I started with my own animal, and then got confirmations with other people as well. So when I did communicate with other animals, the owners would say it was accurate and confirm what I was receiving.
Where did you Did you do case studies?
Yes.
Yeah. So all right, let me ask you this. What do you think of the process, the way we do this? Like you take beginning and then you take medical intuition, and then there's more of a behavior component, and then you're doing your case studies. How does that all feel to you?
I gained my confidence through the animal communication level 1, and it just, for me, it keeps building confidence, and I know I'm really good at it. And then when I go on my own, that energy isn't there, and so I had to learn to trust and go deep and be,
And you had tools.
yeah, and so because of the training, it was easy, but it was different too. It's very different.
Hmm. I get performance anxiety, and yes, Joan, I do have a little of that perfection complex. Well, the thing is, it only takes one thing to save an animal's life, right? So if you step back from that test energy and really just breathe. And Agnes, if you haven't taken the Silva method, I cannot recommend it enough. I learned, and then Shannon's saying, I learned to trust through so much practice, practice, practice. The other day I was talking to someone who did all the, she did all the artwork. If you did the animal empath journey here, she did all the artwork for that. She's doing the illustrations for my EFT book, and she had been in teacher training and then kind of dropped away, and I'd gone through the program, graduated in 2015 or 2016. And so the other day I was asking her, she was asking about teacher training. And I said, oh, I'd love to have you back. And I said, are you out there still talking to animals? And she's like, yeah, my life is perfectly balanced between illustration work and talking to animals. And I said, do you want more? She's like, no, I'm perfect. I'm like, where are you getting clients from? She's like, well, you made us do 65 case studies. And then she said, but I did 100 before I charged. And all of those people are my clients now. You know, so it's amazing what not only that trust of practicing with others does, is it then also creates people really trusting you with their animals. So while you think you're practicing to trust yourself, that person is like, oh my God, I only want to work with Rose, or I only want to work with Shannon, or I only want to work with Agnes, because they trust you so much with their beloved.
Right.
And have you found that people come back to you from case
Not yet.
studies?
I'm still doing case studies. So.
But is it fun for you to connect?
It is. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
Actually connected on the aircraft, flying from New York to Seattle. I did a reading on the service dog next to me.
Oh, nice. See?
Yeah.
See how we are? Yeah, she ended up on a plane with a service dog, of course. Let's see. That's so funny, Rose. You imagine 10 steps down and I imagine another elevator. Yeah, that's me too. I'm always in the elevator. I'm being lazy even in meditation. That's not lazy. Rose, what are the messages you hear from the bees?
Ooh, the bees are more hive mentality. Like I must serve the queen. Carpenter bees are whatever and just chill. And then wasp and hornets are like, they're stealth mode, and they're extremely tough. Like they're highly confident and tough, and yet don't mess with me. And I don't mess with them near the nest, but when they're out and about, a lot of times they're impressed that I don't fear them, so they'll buzz my head and do some fun stuff. And they have an extremely tough persona.
Yeah, bees don't. I mean, I'm not going to sit here because then I'll get stung tomorrow, but bees buzz me. Me and bees are good. All right. Well, I have to say this was Very fun. Did you have fun?
Exciting. It was exciting. I
You,
loved it.
yeah, you stayed on longer than I think you thought you were going to, didn't you?
Yeah, and I had a great time.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. We will do a mini live from the. Well, who knows? Who knows what will happen next week on the in the intensive? I have kind of an idea for the live with the students. So, anyway, I want to say thank you for joining. We have lots coming up. If you have any questions about things, please reach out to Shannon at info@joanranquet.com. And Shannon is so helpful helping people find their path. I always say that I speak in like all caps and exclamation points about everything. So it's better to have Shannon on the phone with you, organizing what your next step is. So thank you, and I hope to see you soon.